Thank you all for your patience. Thank you for everything you continue to do. I want to continue to thank our community for everything that they're doing, with the patience you are displaying, with the really the commitment that you are displaying towards the things we're asking you to do, quite frankly, things you're being told you have to do. And so let me move into where we are right now. As far as the city, we're continuing to try to provide all the services that you're used to seeing. I do want to tell you there are some changes taking place as far as how you can pay your water bill. And if you'll continue to go to the website and create an account, I know there's been a little bit of confusion where people might have been dropped off and weren't sure that their account was being paid. We're not going to shut you off. We're not going to shut you down. Just continue to work through the City of Midland website and establish a new account for yourself as we continue to try to move things online for you. Going back to what the hospital was talking about, I want to affirm to you that our elected officials, our local elected officials, as well as those who represent us here in Texas, are doing everything that they can do to make sure we get as many resources as we can get. There are a lot of you watching a lot of television, watching a lot of news, hearing a lot of information about different therapies, different treatments, different drug options. And while all of those things are being played out around the nation, it's important to realize, even though this is a little bit negative, that we remain not at the top of the list as far as priorities are concerned nationwide. The reason that is because of how good we're doing and how good we're doing in Midland and Odessa. And so when other places are experimenting with different things and you hear our health professionals tell us they have not been able to get a particular therapy or a particular drug, it is not because of lack of effort. Our medical professionals are doing everything they can do. Our representatives are doing everything they can do to get things here as quick as we can. The reason I tell you that is not for you to get discouraged, but hopefully to encourage you. That's why we have to be very diligent about the things we're doing with social distancing, about the things we're doing in our grocery stores, and so on and so forth. We have to continue to be disciplined in what we do as resources slowly get to us over time. So things that you're seeing in the national media may not get here as fast as they get to the places where this is blowing up, whether that be New Orleans or New York or San Francisco or other places like that. We can continue to be thankful that even though we are seeing numbers increase very slowly, we're not having the spike like they're having in other places. We are awaiting, as you have heard from just about everyone, we're waiting to hear from the governor, whether that's going to be today or tomorrow. I've had some conversations as early as yesterday trying to figure out when we can hear certain things from the governor, what we might hear from the governor. I, like you, am desperately waiting to see if he will loosen some reins so we can get our economy going again. But let me also affirm to you that in getting our economy back on its feet and getting our economy moving again here in Midland and in the Permian Basin, it's going to be a gradual, slow process. There is really no way that we're going to be able to just open the doors. We are working on a plan, as the judge just talked about. We're working on a plan of how we can bring back our economy and open our economies back up. I'll be on a discussion with all West Texas mayors tomorrow night, talking about how we can, as a region, continue to elevate our economy. But even as we do, we will continue to have to practice the things you have become used to, whether that's social distancing, the good hygiene, the washing of hands, even the wearing of masks. I cannot reiterate enough that we will have to slowly get back to our new normal. It will take time. My biggest concern is that we get some changes in place so we can get our small businesses operating again. We can get our restaurants and our bars opened again. We can get nail salons open again. So we're working towards that. We're waiting to see what the parameters will be from the governor. As soon as we know those things, we will be ready to open the economy up in a slow, to use the word that Dr. Wilson has used, really a slow burn to reopen as well. So with that, I want to just continue to encourage you. I know many people are, to be quite blunt, tired of where we are. It's very difficult, but you're doing the right things. I want to continue to applaud you. Be patient with those who do not think what we're doing applies to them, and continue to do the right thing yourself and to encourage people to do the right thing with all the things you know to do through this really double whammy we're going through in our economy and with COVID-19. With that, Aaron, that concludes my remarks. I'll take any questions.
All right, we don't have any just yet. Let me see if anyone's typing anything out.
Sure, no worries. Siri just told me she was on it, so
we'll let her answer everything.
I'll let her answer every question.
Okay, we have two. The first one is from Mitch, and he asks, as the Texas Railroad Commission weighs the pros and cons of limiting oil production across the state, do you think restricting the quantity of oil companies' produce will help the Permian Basin's economy?
Well, that's a good question. It is out of my expertise to really answer that question. When you have such a division among the different oil and gas companies, as you saw with the hearing that took place, that is really something I'm just going to have to trust the Railroad Commission and the oil and gas companies come to an understanding of what is best. I can see both sides of the argument, so I'm not trying to punt on an answer. I just have to sit in the middle and assume and hope that they're going to come up with the best answer, because I can hear both sides of the argument, for and against, and I'm just going to have to trust their wisdom to do the right thing for our oil and gas companies.
The next question comes from Danny. He asks, what business would be the first to get the local economy up and running? What business would open first?
Well, our hope is, and this is just my hope, and so it's not really, hey, here's what's going to happen. My hope is that the governor loosens restrictions for all businesses, and then it's going to become a matter of how much businesses are allowed to open. It's probably going to be something in the neighborhood of a magnitude of occupancy load, because we can't just open everything up 100% and be able to practice social distancing. So we're not looking at any one particular industry. I'm looking for the governor to talk about loosening the restrictions on what have been termed non-essential businesses. So we don't have this divide between what we consider essential and non-essential, which has caused so much debate around here as well as around the country. So we're hoping all businesses will be allowed to operate, and then we're going to have to work on what that looks like to have a slow, consistent open so that we can get to a new normal over a period of time.